morning. It's the main event. I'm your humble host, Stephen McCollum, and you know him as 17-year NFL veteran, 3-time Super Bowl champion for your Dallas Cowboys. And folks, he won't admit it, but there are signs that Dale bought the Wilt Chamberlain warm-up jacket from the 1972 NBA Finals on Monday in auction for $90,000, like $89,000 or something like that. Surprised he's not wearing it, folks.
Well,
Dale
I said I'd go to 100,000, Steve, and it came up a little short of that. So.
They valued it beforehand, 150 to 250,000.
Yeah.
I did this on the business show this morning, and you were cheapskate. You only went to 89,000.
That's all it took, and I'm happy with it. And I'll give it to you to keep in your little extra.
Yeah, I'll just throw it in my room
down there. Yeah.
The best part is, Dale, you would probably put this on and drown you even. Like, it'd just be so big on you.
7'1", big old Wilt Chamberlain.
A 19-year-old kid bought it at a Goodwill in Oregon for $3.07.
Oh, really?
Yeah, quite the turnaround in pricing. If you wanna argue that point there as well. Yes, Dale, how you doing today?
Well, I'm doing great. It's reporting day, Steve. I did this for a lot of years. Hated every one of them.
Now, were you one of the linemen because every year there's a lineman that shows up to camp with a roll of the toilet paper of their favorite because the hotel toilet paper sucks.
Hotel?
Or the dorm room for you guys.
Thank you.
Nowadays it's hotels.
Yeah.
Back then it was dorm rooms.
Yeah.
There's always some lineman that he'll have one bag of like clothes and then like 5 bags of, 48 rolls of toilet paper as he's walking in.
That's what you remember about.
That's what I read. There's always some lineman walking in with rolls of toilet paper. Toilet paper here sucks. Got my toilet paper.
Now I will remember forever my first reporting day in Buffalo, New York, from a guy who didn't know where Buffalo was. Got on a plane. They took me there. I knew it was in New York. I didn't know Eastern, Western, Northern, Southern, whatever.
You didn't look at a map beforehand?
No, never did. I knew it was cold in Buffalo. I was smart enough to know that, except for, guess what? It's not cold in July.
No, it's hot and humid.
It's hot and humid. So as I'm checking into the dorm, 2 things I realized. The older guys were bringing in fans and portable air conditioning units.
No AC, I assume.
And I was looking at that and go, why do you need this? It's hot. It's cold in Buffalo. And they go, oh, no, it's pretty miserable, humid and all that. And it's summertime. And there's no air conditioning in the dorm.
Yeah.
So I slept in my own sweat for night after night for about 6 weeks and didn't make that mistake again.
And then you sweat on the field. And how much weight did you lose during training camp is the bigger question.
You know what? They feed you pretty good. But back then it was literally 6 weeks of 2-a-days, hitting, full pads.
So I imagine it was workout, nap, workout, sleep, workout, nap, right? Just for your recovery time.
And you got to remember back then, there were no roster limits. So my rookie year in Buffalo signed 150 guys.
Jeez.
Which
what was the roster limit? What was the limit for them when the season started?
Well, you had to get down.
That's what I mean.
100 guys got cut.
That's what I mean. And so you got down to 50 something, I imagine, right? Maybe 60, but okay.
And and so you get there in the morning, you get taped, go out to practice, come back, and you wouldn't take your tape off. Because you didn't want to get back in that line to get back to get taped in the afternoon.
So you're wearing that stuff all day long? That's terrible.
Yeah.
After sweating in it and stuff. Oh, I broke my wrist one time when I was in junior high school. I guess 9th grade or so. And just being in that cast all day long eventually drove me nuts. I couldn't imagine being taped up all tight and just sweating in it.
Yeah. Laying in your bed trying to take a 45-minute nap and.
Why are my fingers always purple? I can't figure it out.
Kind of crazy. But
so by the time you took the tape off, you probably had all the tape residue left over on your arm.
Well, no, you take it off your arm because you do that yourself. It was your ankles.
So that type.
Yeah, 150 guys getting their ankle taped. That took forever. And so.
Did you ever walk in and be like, "You're not making this team. Get out of here. I'm first."
I never did that. I'm sure there were some guys that did. I also remember back then you could haze a little bit. It wasn't
Yeah.
too bad, but made a lot of the rookies sing. their
They
alma
still do the
mater.
singing stuff and everything. They still do the rookie dinner where
Yeah.
they have to pay for dinner. Now they split it up. I've seen they split it now more so. So it's not one rookie having to pay a
Right.
$300,000 dinner bill. They'll have all the rookies going.
And I
on
still
it.
don't understand how they get, first of all, that's stupid. I understand, hey, you get the 3-4 rookies that are there and they take you out to
Yeah.
dinner and you order a couple drinks and some food and whatever.
Yeah. Get to $300,000.
No, that's just
That's like when I was in the corporate world. I had a guy that worked for me, great guy. But every time I ordered lunch for guys, who have to work through lunch or whatever, he was like, buy the most expensive thing on the menu. I used to be like, when you go out to dinner, do you buy the most expensive thing on the menu? And he'd be like, no. I'm like, yeah, so why are you doing it now?
because you're buying.
I know. It's same thing with that concept. When you go to the dinner, guys are ordering tomahawk steaks and everything that they'd never buy on their own.
Right.
And getting one to go. Can I get one to go too? But it is amazing how training camp reporting day has changed. Cardinals over at Wigwam Resort. If you don't know, that's where they are.
And they train at their facility.
Yeah.
We trained. It was interesting. We trained in Fredonia, New York, when I was in Buffalo.
That's what I was going to say. How close is that to Buffalo?
About an hour and a half south. A little small college, one of those small colleges in New York. Just a little town, not a whole lot going on there. Which is
they like that.
Yeah,
They like that because it's team building.
Yes, and then when I got traded to the Cowboys, we trained in Austin.
Back then you did. Now, of course, they go to luxurious California.
Yeah, stay in a hotel and all that. No, we were in a dorm in Austin at St. Edward's University.
Oh, wow.
South Austin.
Wow.
But stayed in a dorm again. But I remember usually what I would do, because I wouldn't bring a car when I reported for camp in Dallas. I knew that I was going to make the team.
Yeah.
I would say of my 11 years there, 10 of the years, my second year there, because I didn't really go to training camp, my second year there, little unsure, but I would always just fly there. Troy always had an extra car or two, but I'd drive down with him because you don't need a car when you're at camp.
No, like you said, you're too exhausted to go do stuff.
And then amazing time when we pull into St. Ed University and there'd be 20 reporters around Troy's car, and somehow, some way, I never got into the frame.
Yeah, exactly. Dale, that's a guy that knows cameras intimately.
Hey, Dale, would you please get out of the way?
Yeah, I know angles to cut people out of things. Let's put it that way. It's not hard to do, Dale. I'll just tell you that. But yeah, Dale's like, Troy's like, man, you get out first, so they'll you can distract them.
Yeah. Didn't even realize.
Meanwhile, you're like, Troy, you get out first, so you distract them. Oh, that is hilarious. And they're like, Dale, Troy, normally you have a chauffeur. Why are you driving this gentleman around? Oh, that's hilarious. Dale's like, but. So what I would do is, if I were you, I would have gotten out of the car and then just been like, all right, guys, Troy's about to get out, but he says you have to talk to me for 5 minutes. And then just sit there. If they don't talk to you, then Troy just sits in the car, backs out.
It was the most ridiculous thing, but honestly, and when my first, whatever he wants to say, got cut, retired, whatever, and spent it back out here, it just blew my mind the difference between the flag, because that's back when the Cardinals were in Flagstaff.
Yes.
And the way the Cowboys ran things. The fact that every anchor, so like here it'd be Channel 12, Channel 10, Channel 5.
Back then, like Mark Curtis, those guys.
They would all go to Austin and do the sportscast from there for 6 weeks.
It's not just the TV guys. Every sports radio program is doing shows from there.
Yeah.
Repeatedly, like not just doing shows from there, though, like intimately involved with it, meaning they're close to the practice. Like 98.7 is going to be at the practices, but they're like on the second level, off to the side.
And they'll be, and then maybe it'll be the midday show or whatever.
No, if you listen to any Dallas radio, starting next week when they report, they will be at the stadium. Everybody in the side and stuff like that. Yeah, and here they take vacations now.
That's what I was going to say. Blew my mind because Mark Curtis was the lead sports guy. And
That's why I brought him up.
And I was getting involved with Channel 12 and Coop and all those guys. And Coop would be up there a lot.
Yeah. Well, he was he sent him out there.
But Curtis was the lead sports guy.
The anchor.
And he'd always take his vacation first 2 weeks in August. Yeah. And I'm like,
no, you do that.
You do that in Dallas, you're fired.
You do that in a lot of markets.
Yeah.
You're not. Like Green Bay, you're doing one thing for the next 9 months and talking that. And here I think most of the people take, unless you're a beat reporter or something like that, most people take my philosophy of preseason with the Cardinals. Who cares?
Yeah.
I'm not going to learn anything in this preseason. There's not big battles that you need to see out there.
But I mean, I'm even talking back in the 90s and early 2000s when there was contact, there was things at training camp, and all that. Nowadays, they have 10 pattern practices.
Now it's boring.
Yeah.
Now it's boring because they just stand there. And guys run unopposed. We see cornerbacks aren't even trying half the time. And that's why it's so spectacular when a guy makes a spectacular catch and somebody's covering him because it doesn't happen very often.
Well, and the other thing that I always remember is I tell people, you feel you're in the best shape you are going to be in all year. You feel good. Your body feels good. And you know the next morning, because we were in full pads first morning and we were hitting, that you were invariably going to jam a finger. Your foot was going to get stepped on.
Yeah.
And then that was going to carry on for the next, 7 months?
I mean, they're in such good shape now, Dale, that they're getting gun chargers up in Canada going into camp. That's how good a shape they are now coming in. But there you go, folks. Dale's recollection. Now, in Buffalo, like 2 people showed up for that training camp back then?
It was fairly, just for Buffalo, the Buffalo media covered us.
Well, of course. The mainstays, I said, the mainstays, even the Cardinals, the main guys are all out there covering them and stuff like that. But, Green Bay, those guys. People take vacation for Kansas City even before they were really good like they are now. People would take vacations and go because they were up in Wisconsin. I don't know if they still are. And they would take a week vacation just to go to training camp. They go to every practice and
you don't know how many people I met over my 11 years in Dallas who came to Austin for a week and that was their week vacation.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
that's nauseating.
You came down here?
But I can understand it, though, especially back then. You got access. When the Cardinals were at Flagstaff, players would just be walking. And they'd be talking to people and, interacting with fans up there and stuff. That's all gone now. Yeah. Now, they'll come to the side, like it's Cardinal Stadium. They'll come to the side for autographs and, reach up and do stuff. But back then, you could walk with them. Green Bay, of course, they ride those bikes.
Yeah, the kids.
The kids' bikes and everything. So you interact with the kids and stuff. Those are still live some places. But now it's all about exclusionary tactics, Dale.
Yeah.
Nowadays. So I can understand that back in the day. Oh, my God, let's go. I talk to Troy every preseason. Let's go talk to Troy and see how the season's going to go. Not Hellas, Jay. Let's talk to Troy. You could have just done that thing like the Broncos did for a while, their offensive linemen, where they just didn't speak to the media. So every time they were on like national television, it was just like a picture of them because they were like, they just decided as a group they weren't going to be media people.
They'd fine you if you got caught.
So like literally you'd have like the receivers being like, I went to, Southern Methodist, and then it goes linemen as just pictures as they go through their names. I always thought that was cool. Just like that's good philosophy to have.
Yeah.
As you do that. So there you go, folks. Cardinals reporting today. Some memories from Dale. The old days of doing things.
It got to the point where I hated the smell of fresh cut grass.
Because your face was in it all the time?
Oh, it just reminded me of that's training camp.
Well, that's why. Well, I do have that question. You just brought me this one. Because as players get older, Brett Favre and those, they just don't want to go to camp. Like Aaron Rodgers doesn't want to be in camp this year. So they hold out just so they don't have to go to camp. Like, instead of negotiating it or whatever, they're just like, yeah, we have a deal, but I'm not coming to camp, so I'm just going to stay away from it. So, like you learn to hate it after times. You don't want to be there because it's a grind or whatever.
Yeah.
What year did that hit you in the NFL?
My second year.
That's what I was gonna. Because first year you're just wide eyed and
Yeah.
trying to get your
Everything's
feet
new.
underneath, and it's fast. I imagine, right? Like everything is fast as a rookie.
Well, the whole thing about that is you're used to, like, we used to have, I think, 8 days of two-a-days in high school back when I played Saguaro. And then at SMU, we had 2 weeks,
Yeah.
like 10 days, and half of those were in pads. And then you get to the NFL, it's like, we have 5 weeks of two-a-days.
That's the thing. It's like training camp in baseball. We're like by the last 2 weeks of spring training, you see the veterans just be like, "Can we start this season now, please?"
It was absolutely crazy.
So that's an interesting question. Just when you were like every year, you're like, "Oh, I have to go do this again."
But and I was part of that 90s to where, when Jimmy was there, it was full bore every 2-a-days every day. And we always go 2 practice one day, 2 practice the next day, then 1 afternoon. Well, the afternoon, that was your vacation. You got a morning off.
Yeah.
But the afternoon practice was like 1.5 times.
I was going to say, it was harder. It was like game speed. That's so great. That's so great. How to do it. Especially like as your career went on, this is another question I just popped in my mind. As your career went on and you were just a long snapper, where the only threat of you going in as a lineman was like injuries, right? And you'd have to go in. What'd you do all training camp? You just snap balls on the sideline to the punters or into the net or what?
Well, I'd realized I'd arrived probably 94, 95 when I broke the tip of my thumb. Okay, so as an offensive lineman, you could wrap that up and you can still practice and play. And our trainer goes, I think this will keep you out for about 4 weeks. And they put a little teeny splint on my thumb. And I went, you got to make that more of a cast.
Exactly. Yeah, like that needs to be like out to here, those club ones.
I can't just walk in to the meeting room with this little thing on the end of my thumb and go, oh, you're missing 4 weeks?
Dale walks in and he's got to have like one of those wheelie carts with his arm on it. It's so big. Yeah, that's hilarious. But I mean, I used to watch, like, just to give you an idea here, like I used to go to Cardinals when Scott Player was the punter.
Well, don't compare us to.
No. I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not. Maybe I am. Maybe I am. But I mean, I just watch him, and he just stand on the sideline, going through warm-ups, and he just throw the ball on the ground and bounce back up to him. That's all he did until he was called to go out there. But what I'm getting at is you got specialized the longer you were in the NFL and stuff like that. Did you go in as a lineman during training camp, or was it just strictly on the side?
No, see, that's what a whole lot of people don't understand is back in the 80s, 90s, when I reported to Buffalo, I had left the last mini camp, and I said, hey, can I have a ball? Do you know I snapped? They go, oh, yeah, we know you snap. We'll get to that in training camp sometime. I'm like, okay.
It's like week 3, and they're like, yeah, maybe you should practice that.
you have to make it as a position player. And then, snapping's in addition. And then as you got into the 90s, all of a sudden we didn't have a special teams coach my first 2 years in the league.
Yeah, isn't that amazing?
Isn't
that amazing?
Our running backs coach was the punt team coach. And defensive line coach was the punt return coach.
It wasn't a third of the game back then.
No, it was not. But as time went on, and then my offensive line coach, Hudson Houck, and I became close, and about 96 or so, I was always a 6th offensive lineman. So one of my values was I could play center or guard.
Okay. And right and left side, or just one side? Okay.
Right. And then they dress a backup tackle.
Mm-hmm.
So they could dress 7 offensive linemen and have their snapper taken care of, which allowed them to now suit up another wide receiver or another DB or another. And I know a lot of people don't think that's a big deal, but NFL coaches, they think it is a big deal.
Options, absolutely.
Yeah, and so that always did that. But about 95, 96, Hudson Houck and I were talking in training camp. He goes, Dale, you're as good as you're going to get. You're 35 years old.
That's my point, yeah.
You're gonna get us through the second half of a game if somebody goes down. Just go snap to a 7-on-7 when we're doing 1-on-1 pass blocking. And
well, I mean, dare I say, at that age, all you're going to do is wear yourself down in training camp.
Not me. I was in great shape, Steve. That wasn't your typical 36, 37, 38-year-old.
Ethan goes, I never order the most expensive thing on the menu, so wow, that hit a nerve. Ethan thought I was talking about him there.
Yeah, that responded quickly.
Wasn't talking about you, Ethan. Somebody else. His name was Brian.
Wow,
Give a
see,
shout out to
you
Brian.
never forget anything,
Brian.
do you?
Yeah, no.
Because
no.
Brian was a B-R-Y
you-
or B-R-I?
You know what the best part about that is? There's a lot of people. Like I'll run into people every once in a while. They'll be like, "Oh my God, Steve," because I worked with them like 20 years ago, and I'm just like, dude, okay, no idea what your name is. Me and my daughter ran into this guy that was one of my better customers for a lot of years, and I was friends with him. We ran into him at a grocery store a few months ago. I can't. To this day, there will be times I'm just like, what was that guy's name? It still won't come to me. Still won't come to me. And then, but I remember guys like Brian who just order the most expensive thing on the menu all the time.
Well,
I'll get the shrimp scampi. What do you get when you go there? Oh, I just get spaghetti and meatballs.
Wow. Like it happened yesterday to Steve.
It does. Man, listening to John Holmberg's State Farm, I texted him today, and he read it online. Didn't say it was me, though, but I texted him today, and I was like, John, dude, they don't care. I know what you're doing. I know you're upset about it. Your threats don't matter to them. Like, I told him, I go, man, I have over 20 policies with them, and they just didn't care. They've lost 5 of them since my incident with them. Didn't blink an eye. They don't care. They don't care at all. That you filed a complaint with the Division of Insurance. They don't care. Even if you get a payment on it, they're just going to write it off. It doesn't matter to them. They just don't care. They just don't care. So, whatever. But it was just funny how I do that. But I'm getting PTSD. I got to stop listening to him in the morning. I'm getting PTSD.
Yeah, it's starting to bring back some memories.
Man, I'm like driving in just like angry, stressed out. My shoulders feel like they got big things on it. So basically what I'm saying, Dale, is if I make this about me here, is I know what it feels like for you going to training camp.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Driving in this morning. You're all just driving in thinking about all the reporting times and pulling in and parking and walking into the thing. And then I was driving in this day, reliving my 2025 State Farm nightmare that I had to go through with the car and then another roof situation and all that stuff. So I know how you feel today, Dale.
I almost exactly the same, Steve.
Not much different.
No.
Not much different.
It's funny when you mention not remember people because a buddy of mine and I met at Zips last night to catch up and a kid, 25-ish.
But you was a kid when you knew him. So.
He comes up to me and says, "Hey, Coach, how are you?" I'm like, "I'm good." He goes, "You coached me at SCA back in 2014." I'm like,
"That was 12 years ago."
Yes. Hey, it's really good to see you. Thanks for coming up and saying hello. And
do you do the thing where you go, "Hey, what was your name?"
No, I did. And I did. I think I did. I said, "I'm sorry. What was your name?" And he said it was Reed something. I already forgot. But
Reed's watching this today, going,
yeah.
"Oh
no." I always remember the guys who played for me. Like if you were good.
Well, I mean, I recognize people all the time. Even if I have no memory, I'll recognize them. Be like, he looks familiar. But it doesn't mean you remember the name.
Well, if it's a good customer, Steve.
Oh yeah, this dude.
If it's a good customer,
these guys were like friends.
I mean, you got to be going, "Hey Joe, how are you, man? Long time no see."
Dale, every week or two, I'll just be like sitting there doing nothing. I'll be like, "God damn it, what's his name?"
And you're not gonna go back to
Dale, I can't even conjure up what I think his name is. But man, I recognized him instantly in that grocery store and knew who I was talking to, know what company he works for, knew all of that stuff. The name just can't come to me.
And he spent money with you.
Oh yeah, tons of it.
Yeah. See, that's ridiculous. You're just not a people person.
That was 10, 15 years ago now, though. And 10 years ago now that I last dealt with him and stuff like that. Yeah, it was pretty funny, man. I was just like, whoa. The ones I remember most, I still on social media with, so I see their posts every once in a while. Then I'm like, oh, so then I always remember their names.
Tell me this: you said you listened to Holmberg.
Yep.
I still haven't gotten the story. We've texted back and forth. I don't want to go through. It sounds like it's a long story. He got his Broncos stolen.
No, he got okay. So that's how he's phrasing it. I know he's doing the radio thing.
Okay.
So what happened was he got in a car accident, and so they tow your car away when you get in a car accident. And the city of Phoenix is where I think it happened. But wherever you get in an accident, they tow it to a lot.
Okay.
You call your insurance company, you report it. The insurance company gets the police report, finds out where it's at, and then they say, where do you want us to take it to? And then they, in theory, tow it to where you want it to go.
To your body.
Mine was Classic Collision,
Joe.
Queen Creek. And if you've been around a long time, you know how that ended up for me. Just joke of a system. No, it's not. In my case, it wasn't all State Farm, but it was a lot of it was State
But you
Farm.
said Senator Joe.
I did. Well, I said send it to Classic. This is before I knew who Joe was, because they took care of me on other cars.
Okay.
So that's what you do. And then you just kind of like wash your hands of it and it gets done. Well, apparently they didn't deliver his car. And State Farm's calling him, asking him, like, where do you know where your car's at?
Why am I keeping track of where my car is?
Yeah, it's your job.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. So he's saying they stole the car. A tow company picked it up from the lot it was at, was supposed to deliver it to his good body shop. I'll give him a plug to Orlando Body Shop, which I got to become my body shop now, apparently. Because again, folks, do what you want to do.
Oh.
The Classic Collision.
But you said just the one, right?
Just Queen Creek. The Chandler location took care of me afterwards.
Okay.
Absolutely took care of me. But at the same time, you support Chandler, you're supporting them all. Right?
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. But anyway. So his car's just sitting like in this tow lot. And State Farm didn't know where it was. And he's able to track it because his car's got the trackers on it. So he was able to track it, see where it was at and stuff like that. So it wasn't stolen. Somebody took it where they shouldn't have. And then what he found out yesterday, the reason why you didn't do the sports podcast, and I had a feeling this was the case, was he was going to go pick up his truck and get his own tow truck and go pick it up. Well, you owe fees at where it's at right now. Right? No tow yard's just going to release it.
That's what insurance is supposed to take care of.
Yeah. But then John does that old thing that he was talking about this morning, because I did it too. I found out the scam of working with insurance companies in my process. So they shouldn't have the car there. There should be no fees because it shouldn't even be there.
Right.
But State Farm's stance is no, we'll just pay him. To State Farm, it's a rounding error.
Right.
They're not going to miss $1,000 in storage fees. They could care less.
Right.
So, but in your mind, you're going, that's a ripoff. I wouldn't pay him. Don't pay him, whatever. But State Farm doesn't care. Let's just end this headache. We'll send the $1,000. Who cares? And we'll get it towed out of there. So that's what he had to deal with yesterday, was he got there and they wouldn't release his car and stuff like that. So stolen, tough words. And I get it. Maybe he's doing it for radio effect or whatever, because that's what we do. I get it and everything. But I don't know if that's the case because I didn't get to speak to him yesterday because you guys didn't do your sports podcast. But I texted him this morning on the air because I don't know the show's email. So I just texted his phone. And I go, because I told him my story on the car. I didn't tell him the roof story where they wouldn't cover it and made up all these lies and stuff. But I said, State Farm, first of all, you're not the only one. And second of all, John, they don't care. Because he's like, they're going to owe me. I'm going to go after $1 million fee. I want $1 million from them. I want them to make it right. They don't care if you leave, man. I have 20-something policies with them. I moved 5 to show them. They don't even give a crap. They don't even know they're gone. They could care less.
Right.
So I texted him that this morning. Like, just, Don, they don't care. Just get your car to where it needs to go. Get it done. Move on with your life. Because your alternative, and I told him this, your alternative is this. So I filed a complaint with the Division of Insurance. I was asked to do that by a lawyer who I talked to. Because the State Farm knows 2 things. One, you're either going to stop shopping with them, and they don't care. They just don't care. They make billions of dollars a year. They're not going to miss your $200 or whatever your car insurance payment is.
Right.
Number 1. And number 2, they know you're not going to do anything about it. If they lose in the Division of Insurance, they're just going to pay out the claim, and stuff like that. So, like, if they lose my roofing one where they wouldn't cover my roof when they should have, all they're going to end up doing is paying me my roof fee back years later. That's all they're going to do. They don't care.
Right.
They don't care about $20,000. That's to them. That's nothing.
They're busy naming stadium and stadium rights.
Yes. So then, literally, I was told at one point by somebody in State Farm, a higher up, what are you gonna do? You're gonna have to sue us to go anywhere with this. Basically, telling me we don't care, so sue us if you want to.
Right.
So then you got to go hire a lawyer, spend 20, 30, 40, 50 grand suing State Farm. If you win, and you win whatever your amount is, you have 50 grand in lawyer fees or something like that. It's not worth it. And they know it. That's why no state's going to go like, well, you treated Stephen McCollum like garbage, State Farm, so you're banned from the. If they get fined $1 million or $600 million, they don't care. They have that sitting in bank accounts. And they get to write it off at the end of the year. Anyway, but I'm getting PTSD listening to it, man. It is hilarious. It is hilarious listening to it. But to me, I don't know about John, but to me, the frustration was just the way they treat you when they talk. And he's experiencing that now. It was the same thing with Classic Collision. It was the same thing Autumn went through with her Hyundai dealership, where they just talk to you like you're the problem.
Right.
And it's like, you're the problem. Why are you making it sound like I'm the problem?
I don't know what this car needs done to it. You do.
Yes.
Do it, and you and the insurance company figure it out.
Like with Classic Collision, I go, State Farm sent you the paperwork. I hadn't seen the paperwork. And then Joe over there was like, well, you got to tell us what's wrong with it. I don't know. It was stolen. This is the first time I've seen this car in the last 8 months because you guys are bringing me through the ringer. Go get the paperwork, and then let me look at it, and we can have the discussion. Well, we're not getting the paperwork. You need to tell us what's wrong with it. I don't know. And then State Farm is the same way. Like, I'll never forget when I needed a key. Turns out Classic Collision could have gotten the key. They kept refusing. I found all that out later. I told you guys that story. But then State Farm's like, where do you want to get a key from? I don't know. Who makes Ford keys? Do we call a handyman? Do we go to Ace Hardware? And the guy's like, well, you have to tell us where you get a key at. I don't know. So finally I was like, is there a Ford dealership around that we could take it to? And that's how I ended up at Santan Ford that ended up screwing me over on that front too. They ended up screwing me over with the license plate. They were the license plate company where they told everybody and their dogs the car didn't have a license plate, so we couldn't drive it back to Classic Collision after we got the key. So Dale, I go to pick up the car. I think I told this before. I walk outside. The license. I go to the DMV and sit in line for like 2 hours to get a license plate. I get the license plate. I have to report the other one stolen. I get the new license plate. It's like a 2-hour long sitting in the DMV. I drive over to Santan Ford, walk in, get my keys, everything, whatever. Go out to the car, but literally get in the car, tape the license plate, the new license plate to the back window so I can drive it 10 miles to the Classic Collision place. And I get out of taping it in the back window, walk to the front of the car, license plate sitting on the dash of the car. And Santan Ford's service people kept telling the insurance company, Classic Collision, me, there's no license plate on this car. We can't tow it. We can't drive it. There's no license plate on the car. And it's sitting in the freaking dash of the car for the whole world to see. It's Dale. And then they look at you like you're the one wrong. They literally look at you. The guy literally looked at me and goes, well, you must have misunderstood what he said because the license plate's right here. And you're just like, all 4 of us misunderstood what he said? Is that what you're telling me right now? They just look at you like you're the crazy one. And that's where you get infuriated by it. That's where you get infuriated by it. Just eat it, man. State Farm needs to just go. Literally, they just need to go, hey, yeah, man, we need to get your car to the shop. We need to fix this. Let us work on it, and we'll follow up with you. That's all they got to do.
Yep.
But they don't do that. They called him and literally, when he said that the guy called him and said, do you know where your car is? And he's like, no, do you? And the guy's like, are you sure you don't know?
Yeah.
He's like, I've never been so mad at him. I'm like, yeah, it's infuriating. Well, you guys know what I went through on that car. That was ridiculous. It took 9 months to get that car fixed because of everything I went through. And it wasn't all State Farm. It was Classic Collision and Santan Ford. It was the tow companies. My car went from the border up here to Phoenix, back down to the border, up to Tucson, up here to Phoenix, back down to Tucson. And they're paying the fee. That's what I'm saying. State Farm doesn't care because they were literally just paying the storage fees and the towing fees every time everything was being screwed up in the process. Like, it was like thousands of dollars. And I'm just like, they obviously don't care about it. I'd be freaking out if I was spending this kind of money. State Farm's like, whatever. But I'm getting PSD PTSD.
I was going to
from
say,
that.
you know what? I think that maybe we won't bring that up again because you're right back. It's like you're in the
Oh, no.
middle of it.
Driving in yesterday and today, man.
Yeah.
Yesterday at one point, like halfway, he was like in the middle of a sentence, and I just went bloop and turned stations because I noticed I was like gripping the steering wheel harder.
I know this feeling.
So today I switched over to the 98.7 voice. I was like, they're less infuriating than State Farm. Let's go listen to that. Oh my goodness. But it is hilarious. You know, it's an amazing thing to deal with. That's
Yeah,
all I can say.
it's so funny because I've been in one accident my entire life.
Yeah.
And it was a weird accident to where it's 2 left-hand turn lanes. I'm on the inside one. So you waited for an arrow comes on, we start to go, and I'm always aware of my surroundings. And I've taken pride in that. And all of a sudden this car outside of me guns it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why until I see a red flash and there's a red truck coming at me at 55 miles an hour and hits me front right.
Yeah.
And
Isn't that a great feeling?
and basically almost totals my car, but in the meantime, I didn't have my seatbelt on. Because I've always said I'm too big to get thrown out the car because the steering wheel's going to stop me.
Physics don't care how big you are, Dale.
But I went up,
Yeah.
and I kept my garage door opener on the.
Did you have the indention
visor.
on your head?
No, I had a 7 staple gash on my head, so
Oh,
I'm
my
bleeding.
goodness. Yeah.
I'm
only laughing because he's safe.
I can't open the door because my car got hit front right, and it kind of the frame got wrapped around. And so I'm trying to get out. I'm kind of aware of what's going on. Then I'm feeling stuff running down my face.
You were concussed. You had no idea what was happening.
And I look and I see I have one napkin in the car. I don't have any towels or anything. I'm trying to keep my eyes.
Tail's flicking blood everywhere.
But you know, they towed it away and whatever, and made me go to the hospital and get my staples and all that. But they took care of it.
Yeah. Back in the day,
bang, boom.
Back in the day, I don't have that. This you get infuriated though, and this is what John's dealing with. It's like I've been with State Farm since I was like 22, and then they had all my house policies and stuff like that.
Right.
Every once in a while, I'd have a claim. Like it was like 5 claims in like 30 years. You know,
Right.
it was like 20 years, whatever it is. You know, and you're just like, I don't make claims. There were times where I should run something through a claim. I was like, I'm just paying for it. I'm not dealing with the insurance. I'm just going to pay for it. But every time I dealt with them, it was good. Something changed, though, is what I'm getting at.
Okay.
Because then when I had a Toyota that got T-boned, and all of a sudden, I had fought harder with, I just got new tires like 2 days before, and they're like, well, your tires are old. And I'm like, I had to argue with them for weeks to get value out of my car. You know, the real value out of my car. They're like, you have a crack in your windshield. And I'm like, really? You think? I got T-boned. They're like, yeah, but the structure of the windshield was weak. And I'm like, so then you have to argue with them to get it. And that was the first time, you know, and now they're denying roof claims for you when a roof gets blown off because, you know, they're like, oh, you know, you fixed it in 2022. You must not have fixed it right. That's their claim on the roof claim. And I'm like, it's a light. We have houses where they've told us we got to replace the roofs because they flew a drone over it. And the roof's like 15 years old and they're 25-year shingles. And so I'm like, all right, so what do we need to do? And they're like, we'll replace it. And I'm like, well, I'm not replacing the roof. I'll move insurance companies before I do that. It's still good. Then they're like, well, get a qualified roofer to certify that roof's good for another 10 years. No problem. Call your roofer. Roofer goes out there, does a letter and said, this roof's good for another 15, 20 years. Send it to State Farm. They come back and go, no, you still need to replace the roof because it's a bad roof because they flew a drone over it. And I spent hours and days just arguing with, and finally I just went, all right, you guys don't want my business. Cool. Why don't you guys just tell me you don't want the business and I'll find somebody else. But I have this philosophy too. Don't beg people to take your money. If people start acting like that, just move it. So I let that insurance policy end and I just went and got a new insurance company, you know. It's like, this new insurance company's happy to have me. They gave them 5 new policies, you know, and stuff like that. They're hamming it up and high-fiving each other. Woo! As State Farm's like, yeah, we've had enough of you. But that's where you get pissed off is you've all these years
Yeah.
I've done the right thing and just they get paid every month and I've spent tens of thousands of dollars with them. And then one claim, nope. Or you get this big runaround and you're just like, what? Like you feel like they owe you because they've just collected your money for 20 something years. And just what are you going to fight me for on this?
Right.
And that's where you get wrapped. And I've noticed that with Holmberg right now too, as he's going through that. And I went through it last year too. I went through it a couple times. And now I'm a wiser man because of it.
Well, I think you should take a break, take a deep breath, and let's get into the good news about your Arizona Cardinals.
I don't want to talk it. Let's go Diamondbacks first. Put Diamondbacks first.
A win's a win's a win, Steven.
Plus, the kid Bruce talked about yesterday that took the foul ball off his. What a tough son of a gun this guy is. We learned yesterday as well. We'll talk about it all. Come on back. Main event. The other thing that's going on around the show is Dale Hellestrae's really, really upset.
What am I upset about, Steve?
Lionel Messi is going to miss the MLS All-Star Game. He's in a 21-day rest period after the World Cup run that he went on there with Argentina. And Dale's just distraught about this, folks. I don't know. He keeps bringing it up during breaks.
He took the World Cup final off. He just stood there, kicked the ball 3 times. He started his 21-day rest period the day before.
Maybe it started on the 20th day.
Jeez,
so Dale's. That's what I mean. Dale's all upset about it.
I ain't watching.
Is this akin to Marte just going to the Dominican after the Major League Baseball All-Star Game?
Well, I think what I'm going to do is, if he's got his 21-day rest period, I got my 4-year rest period. I'll wait till the next World Cup.
Dale's traumatized about this, folks. We got to figure him out there as well. Yeah. We're going to talk baseball here, but I do want to mention this because I'll forget to when we come back to NFL. Obviously, excuse me. We got Jacoby. All I did was drink a swig of lemonade. Now all of a sudden, I got the hiccups. The NFL revenue for 2025: $14.5 billion in revenue. The NFL. That's more than the NBA, MLB, and the National Hockey League combined made.
Pretty good, Steve.
Yeah, that's also why Michael Bidwell's moving all your seats out of the way, you longtime fans, and moving to premium seats. Because they make enough money without you. It goes to the same concept, if you want to be honest about it. He doesn't care if you're in his stadium or not. He's making money regardless if you're there or not. You can be a 50-year season ticket holder like Dale's brother, Mark. And they didn't care that he canceled his season tickets this year after, 89 or 86 to today. They didn't care. They're going to make money with it. They're probably going to make more money without him there. Yeah, $14.5 billion, Dale.
Yeah, whoever gets those seats are probably going to spend more money in the stadium than my brother did.
Right, because they're going to be all excited.
Well, he would drink his beer out at tailgate.
Food, drink. Because we buy those box of nachos. We'll buy cookies and stuff, but because they're affordable. They're like $22, and everybody can eat the nachos. It's huge. But other than that, we don't really get anything there because it's too expensive. Yeah. You get a soda when you first go in, and then you get free refills. So it's like, all right, everybody get refills, at least one refill to pay for it. That type of stupid stuff that you do. But yeah, there you go. F them.
$12.5 billion.
No, $14.5 billion.
14.5. Yeah.
Yep, Roger Goodell's negotiating for an extension. And what are you even negotiating about? Don't you just slide the revenue amount across the table to the NFL owners and go, here you go, guys. What I did for you.
Look what it was before I got here, and look at it now.
Like, what are you negotiating? Just other than, here you go, guys. Oh, and I want my private plane to continue while we're talking about it as well. Oh, my God, it's hilarious from that side. But let's talk Diamondbacks first here. We'll wrap this up, this hour up, and probably roll it into beginning of the next season, then NFL. I do have an NBA note for you, which I find hilarious as well coming up. But Diamondbacks got the win last night. 10th inning. Vargas, big hit there in the 10th, gets the winning runs across for the Athletics. There as well.
You mean for the Diamondbacks?
I mean for the Diamondbacks over the Athletics. So they're 1-1 against the Athletics. We are now. The All-Star break was in the middle of this, but we're 2 weeks since they let Pavin Smith go, and Zach Gallen's been on the injured list. Maybe it's me and my bias about how much I hated this team with Pavin Smith on it and Zach Gallen pitching. Maybe it's my bias. But even yesterday when the Diamondbacks lost, there just seems to be a different feeling around this team since those two moves were made. And I'm seeing it every game. It's amazing. Maybe I'm alone, Dale. Am I alone in this? I've noticed, I'm going to call it a pep in their step now. Now, they made mistakes against the Cardinals. We know that and things, but they came back and responded for that, in that series. I'm not saying it's perfect. There's just something different about this team.
Well, it seems like, especially with this team, if it's not one thing, it's another. It's like, okay, well, yeah, I agree with you. It seems like a more energetic team, a more aggressive team. They seem to, I don't know, be freed up a little bit. I don't know what
looser,
it is.
Looser would be the word I would use for that. Yeah, they're just like, oh, let's go.
Yeah, and they jumped off to a lead yesterday, 3 runs in the first inning. I mean, that doesn't happen very often.
No, you're usually down by 3 runs in the first inning,
and then they have to come back and all that. So yeah, I do agree with you. Now, is it all because of Pavin and whatever? But it's definitely coincided with it.
Yes. I'm not putting, I want to be clear, I'm not putting the blame on Zach Gallen and Pavin Smith, but it's coinciding with it. And it's easy to correlate that. It's easy to correlate it, kind of a deal.
The guy that I feel bad for last night, Cole Drake, making his major league debut. Parents were there.
Yeah.
Goes 5 innings, gives up 1 run, and leaves with a lead.
Yeah, and doesn't get the win.
So when I'm talking about, if it's not one thing with this team, it seems to be another. Now all of a sudden, Sewald watch.
4 of his last 6 outings, he's given up runs.
Yes.
He is doing what we've all been afraid is going to happen, and it's happening right now.
I mean, that home run he gave up in the top of the 9th last night, kind of grooved.
Dude, that was what was. I don't know what the speed was on that, but that was what I talk about as a closer. He throws mid-90s, low 90s right down the middle, and early in the season, guys were missing it.
Yeah,
they ain't missing it right now, Dale. They're sitting on it and but no, Sewald's a problem now. There's no doubt about it. It's the other side of it that if you look at it, and I'm rooting for Sewald. I've told you guys that. He's proven he deserves the chance. He's proven he needs to be out there. 4 of 6 outings, closers go through slumps too. Unless your name's Mac Miller or Chapman, in his prime and stuff like that. Most closers go through slumps at times. The problem he's got, though, he starts blowing leads and they lose. The nice thing about last night, though, was they got the win.
Right.
So you can kind of sweep it under the rug a little bit. But he starts going out there and blowing saves, and they start losing 3, 4, 5 games because he blows the 9th inning and they're not able to win those games. It's going to be a worse feeling about him because we went through this with him already. If Torrey keeps throwing him out there and stuff to that effect. He is more than while watching him. Now it's almost like when he goes in there now, it's going to be holding your breath.
Yes.
Because of 4 and 6 giving up runs, blown saves, all of that. So they got that side of it. The other side of it is, I'll say a little, I guess, a positive thing here. I've said all along, last week Bruce Cooper was like, we're going to see Zach Gallen again. I'm like, you're not seeing Zach Gallen again. Like, his injury is going to last the rest of the season. You might see him like late September. If they're out of it, you might see him come back up and get a chance. But I think Zach Gallen's days of pitching for the Diamondbacks are done. And they're also proving it. You got Cabrera, who they haven't even called back up yet to starting pitch. Last night you had Britt pitching. He pitched well, or 2 nights ago. Last night you had this young kid up there. Dude, just bring up young kids that haven't been seen on film as your 5th starter here with Soroka coming back soon. And give them an opportunity. So far, they've proven they can do well. I'd rather see that than a Zach Gallen experience moving forward. These young kids are reinforcing we don't need to see Zach Gallen anymore, is what I'm getting at, with the way that they're pitching up here. I like it.
Well, what's interesting, again, you score 6 runs last night. You do get the win. Obviously, you are on concern watch as you watch this thing unfold.
His ERA, by the way, is 4.95 now.
Yeah.
You cannot have a 4.95 ERA as a closer, folks. You want to see a sub-2, sub-1.
And then you add to that, again, it seemed like it might have disappeared, or maybe because they were winning some games, we kind of forgot about it. But you look at their runner in scoring position stats.
I've been watching it.
3 of 11 last night.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
3 of 11. Now, again, they came through at the end when they needed to and got the win. But still, you continue to go 3 of 11. That's going to catch up with you.
Well, and that's what we've experienced. Absolutely. And eventually, look, I mean, the A's took this into 10 innings, and they were 3 for 6. 2 for 6 with runners in scoring position.
Right.
So the Diamondbacks are playing with runners in scoring position when you're 3 for 11. That tells you guys are getting on base, getting to second at least, and you're not able to do timely hitting to get them home. But you're not getting any other hits either. Whereas the A's weren't getting guys on runners in scoring position, but they were scoring runs, specifically in the 9th inning, and stuff like that. And that's the alarming thing. It's like, we'll see where we go. So, I mean, it's not all bad on the Diamondbacks, but we're starting to see cracks that we didn't see before. Because I believe wholeheartedly, and we saw it 2 years ago with Sewald. On that 23 on that World Series run, we saw it with him then. Your closer, I put the blame on Torrey for the Pavin Smith and Zach Gallen. I believe in that locker room, this team was tight with those guys in the lineup because they knew they weren't going to do anything. So it's kind of like, not that you go out there and go, we're going to lose today. Let's just half-ass it. You don't necessarily do that, but you also know you're at a disadvantage on those days, and that can affect you. And I think the proof is that it was the fact they're playing better since they're gone. Your closer starts blowing saves, even if you win them, that's eventually going to ruin that locker room. We worked our butts off for 8.5 innings. 8 innings, 8.5 innings. We gave you a 2-run lead. You go out there and you blew it? Again? That's going to take a toll on you.
Yes.
It's akin to a place kicker. Your whole game, you're dominating. You get down there, you're down by 1, and you just kick a field goal to win it. And you work down there, and you got a 20-yard chip shot. And your guy shanks it. It's going to ruin locker rooms, man.
I'm going to tell you a kid that I hadn't heard of, didn't realize he went to Grand Canyon. I'm going to watch a little bit more this season.
Yeah.
That's that Jacob Wilson for the Oakland Athletics.
Yeah. No, he's been fantastic. The Oakland Athletics have young kids on this team that are just amazing.
Yes.
They're setting up. They're going to be good when they get to Vegas, man. If they pay him and keep him, that owner. Second-generation wealth there with that owner, and he seems to be a little bit of a weasel out there and his spending abilities and stuff like that. But, he's a Grand Canyon. Just drafted last year?
This is his second year in the big league.
So it was last year he was drafted, yeah. The A's, to me, are a fun team to watch as a young group of guys and stuff like that. So another game tonight. Merrill Kelly's on the mound tonight, which I found.
This afternoon.
Oh, this afternoon. Sorry. It's a day game?
Yeah.
I didn't even know. 12:40? I should probably pay attention.
Yeah, it's at 12:40 because remember now, they have a 4-city
Oh, that's right. This is that
road
St. Louis tomorrow,
for
right?
For one game.
Yeah.
And then they go on to 3 different
That's
cities.
this time frame that's here, huh?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh, it's going to be brutal. And they got don't they have the Red Sox on this series? And the Red Sox are the hottest team in baseball.
Wow.
Right now.
Have you seen that?
They're 14. I don't know what they did last night, but going into yesterday, they had a 14-game winning streak, hottest team in baseball since June 25th. And I think is this the series where they have the Red Sox? I don't have the schedule in front of me here, so it might not be that. But some of the teams you were looking at, because I went through the schedule when you were off, Dale. I mean, they have the Dodgers a couple times. They have the Nationals are on this run. I don't think the Red Sox are on this track. They have the Yankees coming into town coming up. And I was like, man, they have a very mediocre, like, They have teams that they're good as or better than on the standings and stuff on their schedule for the rest of the year, except for the Yankees and the Dodgers and stuff. They're very favorable. And then you look at it and go, oh crap, man, the Red Sox are really good now. So yeah, that is a good team, as a better team and stuff to that effect. It's
So they go to St. Louis, then they have 3 against Washington, they have 3 against Pittsburgh, and they have 3 against Cleveland.
Yeah, that's that stretch. Okay, the next road trip is the Red Sox one then.
And then they come home for looks like 10, 12 games.
Yeah. Well, hopefully the Red Sox cool down by the time they get on that trend.
When do they play the Red Sox? You keep saying, oh yeah, they don't play the Red Sox till middle of August 18th.
Okay, so we have time for the Red Sox to cool down. I thought for some reason I was thinking this was the stretch they do that trend on as well. But yeah, there you go. Throw up the National League wild card standings.
I was
going to
say, are you gonna mention if the playoffs started today?
Well, they'd still be outside of it. They're tied with the Pirates, and the Pirates have the tiebreaker apparently.
Oh, do they?
Yeah. So Pirates would be in, Diamondbacks would be out. Wouldn't that be just a Tory thing? A Tory Diamondbacks team tie and they lose the tiebreaker, miss out on the playoffs if it started today. I told you, I anticipate the Marlins, the Cardinals. You got the Nationals on this trend. Nationals are going to just stay around 500, but you can put them a little bit farther behind you with this next, this road trip coming up. Padres might go on a run, but they're not going to go on this huge run where they're going to be 30 games over 500 or anything. But other than that, I think the Cardinals, Marlins, Nationals, they're going to either stay where they're at or be worse in the second half of the season. I would anticipate the Pirates are probably going to be an in and out type of a team. You have a real chance here.
Yeah.
If you get a first baseman and a left-handed bat here at this trading deadline, and you figure out your close. Now, J-Mart, he's going to be back here soon. He's did a simulator game, and now I guess next week I was reading he's doing this week he's doing another simulated game. He's going to be back here sometime in August. He could slide into that closer role maybe if there's problems there. But you got to figure those two things out. But isn't that amazing, though, Dale? We were talking before that Dodgers series, before the All-Star break, of this team's a 500 team, and that's not going to be good enough. They make those two roster moves, sweep the Dodgers. You go into the All-Star break with nothing but just hope. You had hope. Now, coming out of the All-Star break, this team has you believing they got a shot to make it now.
Well, can you imagine being a resident of San Diego and being a Padres fan with that payroll and those players?
It's even worse than that. Like this is how downtrodden the Padres are. Yeah, they're just not hitting either. Machado's not hitting.
Right.
Big paychecks. But then did you read? They announced a new ownership group that's taking over the Padres and buying them. And last week, Manfred said, that announcement was a little premature. He doesn't have his financing lined up. What? So they might not even have new ownership yet to deal with stuff. Because if you're selling the team, you're not bumping a lot of money into that team. If anything, you're going to unload some guys.
Right. You have to trade that.
Yeah, because you want to lower payroll as you're unloading it because you're unloading it soon. So the Padres are a big question mark with all of that, and you'd be depressed today if you're them.
And I saw a little blip. I didn't look into it. I don't know if you saw that, but the owner of the Dodgers,
I retweeted that out the other day,
are under investigation for something.
Yeah, they own the Sparks, the Lakers, and the Dodgers. That guy, and he's insurance companies is what he runs.
Oh,
yeah, and the federal government has launched investigations against all three of his companies and a company he's got a majority interest in. Folks, I'm not saying he's doing something devious. He's a billionaire. He can wipe me off the face of this planet by suing me. I get it. I'm not saying anything devious. What I will say, though, is, Dale, if the federal government, the Department of Justice, launches an investigation against you, they have some pretty damning evidence to even go into because they're not going to waste their time with something they'll lose.
If it makes it public, especially.
Yeah. They have some pretty damning evidence. Now, it could just be fines and things like that. But then you run into that whole side of, millions of dollars in fines then it comes into that side of clauses as ownership, negativity on the league. You're making the league look bad,
right?
Type of things. And he's going to be distracted for a little bit. Is what my bigger point here is. And I'll even go so far to say if you're being devious on your insurance side, you can't tell me you're on the up and up on your other business dealings as well. He's not just doing that with one company if he's doing something, if you catch my drift. What's he skirting on the other stuff as well? You don't just do it once, Dale. My lessons to you all out there. You don't just do it one time. When we come back, second hour main event, we got football talk galore.
LeBron going to Miami.
That's what I want to talk about as well. Well,
a little premature.
LeBron's going to Miami. I'll tell you why I believe so. You could say it's a mistake I want, and we're prepping for it, Dale. I know a little something about broadcasting to YouTube. How much prep do you need? Come on back, folks. The main event.